Hi, it's Joe from SupplementClarity.com. Today let's talk about StressBall Gummies. In this quick video, I'm going to show you the ingredients in StressBall Gummies as well as some of the research on those ingredients and sum it all up at the end with my feelings about the pros and cons to help you better decide if these things are right for you. So, the first thing I'd point out is that here are the ingredients in StressBall Gummies. As you can see from this table, there are three types of stress balls: StressBall Relax, StressBalls Focus, and StressBalls Snooze. And the first thing I would call your attention to is that all three versions of stress balls contains ashwagandha. That tells us that the company that makes stress balls, Procter & Gamble, feels that ashwagandha is a key ingredient to all three versions of stress balls. Something else I'd call your attention to is the calories. All three stress ball supplements contain 25 calories. That's based on you using 3 stress ball gummies. 3 gummies is the recommended dose for this supplement. Also notice that StressBalls Snooze, which by the way has more ingredients than the others, StressBalls Snooze also contains melatonin. Melatonin is a hormone, it's an antioxidant, we make it in our brain, and there's research on melatonin that it can help people fall asleep a little bit faster. The dosage in StressBalls Snooze is 2 grams of melatonin. That is similar to what I've seen in some of the melatonin sleep research. And by the way, melatonin is also an ingredient I see in many over-the-counter sleep supplements. Each of the gummies also has 5 grams of added sugars. That's pretty much run-of-the-mill for most gummies. They want to make these things taste good. And then the other thing I'd point out is that there's 15 milligrams of sodium in each of these snooze ball gummies. 15 milligrams comes to about, well, less than 1% of the daily value for sodium. So for most people, I don't think that's very much, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. Now, the next thing I'd point out is that there is research on the ingredients in stress balls. For example, here's a study showing that 600 milligrams of a combination of lemon balm and valerian extract eased stress in people. Both of these ingredients are also in the StressBalls Snooze supplement. Lavender also has its share of research, which suggests it can help anxiety. Same thing with sage. StressBalls uses garden sage. And here's a study showing that sage can help anxiety and mood by inhibiting an enzyme that breaks down acetylcholine. If you can inhibit that enzyme, acetylcholine levels go higher in the brain, and this may help mood and anxiety levels. As for chamomile, it also has some research. This is this study where 400 milligrams taken twice a day was shown to help sleep in older folks. Moving on to ginseng, StressBalls Relax uses the C.A. Meyer version of ginseng, which is Korean ginseng. This particular version of ginseng has been clinically studied. Here is an investigation where the C.A. Meyer Panax ginseng improved fatigue in people who had chronic fatigue syndrome. And then we have this investigation involving 50 tired but healthy people, which showed that 418 milligrams of the C.A. Meyer Panax ginseng reduced stress and improved memory, as well as attention span, more so than a placebo did. So there is research on the ingredients in stress balls. What about the side effects? Well, as for side effects, I would say start with less for the first week to see if you have any side effects. I think that's wise when taking any new supplement that you have not taken before. The company also says not to take more than the recommended amount that's posted on the label, so keep that in mind. And then I would also add, speak to your doctor first if you're pregnant or breastfeeding, if you're having surgery, if you're under 18, and definitely talk to your doctor first if you're taking any medications. Now, what about the pros and cons? So what I would say here is pro. Well-known company. Procter & Gamble makes stress balls. Procter & Gamble has been around for over 100 years. So it's a very well-established company. The ingredients do make sense to me. There is research on each of the ingredients and all the 3 different versions of stress balls. So from the perspective of how these things are supposed to work, whether it's improving your sleeping, your focus, your stress levels, the ingredients do make some sense to me. I also like the fact that there's not many ingredients in stress balls. The StressBalls Snooze supplement does have the most ingredients, but overall less ingredients than I see in many other supplements I review. And then the other pro here is it's affordable. You can pick these things up for about 15 bucks depending on where you're shopping. So that's good. I'll put a link to them in the description below the video if you want to check them out for yourself. Now, as for cons, I don't see any research on stress balls themselves. Yes, there is some research on the ingredients, but ingredient research is not necessarily the same thing as research on the supplement itself. I personally like research on supplements, so I'd call that a con. Also, I did notice looking at some of the research that the dosages in stress balls was a little less than some of the research studies I saw. Not entirely across the board, but I did see it for a few things, and that's definitely something maybe to keep in the back of your mind. And then the other con I would point out is proprietary blends. Each of the stress ball supplements contains a proprietary blend of different ingredients: ginseng, lavender, chamomile, etc. As a rule, I'm not a big fan of proprietary blends, even though there's not many ingredients in stress balls. I would just like to see the actual amounts in each of those ingredients rather than putting them all together in one big amount in a proprietary blend. So what do you think? Have you tried stress balls? And if so, leave a comment below. I'll be very interested to hear what you have to think. Until next time, I'm Joe from supplementclarity.com. Take care.